What is up? Happy Monday. Portion of the program is brought to you by NCAA National Certified Alarms, long-term contracts, license number 645. Man, I'm beat. Stayed up late watching the football game. I had a little party at my house, and I went out. I got some food in the morning. It's like, oh, cool. I'm gonna have a nice little party at my house. Just inviting one person, good friend of mine, Bell K. I invited Bell K to the party. We went out. We got snacks. We got all kinds of snacks, right? I think my wife's like, what kind of snacks does Bell want? I'm like, let's get some good chicken wings. Let's get some of this good stuff over here. Bell, what'd you think of it?
Well, I'm never one to turn down a free meal, but I wasn't there.
Yeah. I turned to my wife as we're in line. I go, he's going to flake. I get a text like 30 minutes later. I don't feel very good. I don't think I'm going to come over.
Well, I didn't feel good. I still don't.
You know what? Whatever. That's all I got to say to that. Super Bowl, I watched it. A lot of people did. I have the numbers here in a little bit. 27 million people take. So 80 million people work like 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. About 125 million people work just Monday through Friday, kind of regular hours, or, like Tuesday through Saturday kind of thing. 26.2 million people, almost $6 billion of productivity gone today. 26.2 million people not showing up for work, including Ken, who texted Bell and I today and said, I don't feel very good. I just stayed up late last night.
Well, you know what makes that happen?
What?
Staying up too late.
Yeah, that's probably one of those things. I was like, dude, that's totally fine. I get it. You're a quitter. You're a quitter. Whatever, bro. Quitter. Bunch of you guys.
Sorry, Ken. It's going to be 3 hours of slamming on you.
No. Look, I get it, because every once in a while you get that weird situation where you do not sleep at all. And like every Monday, Ken and I go, dude, I just feel like I'm like my shows during the week. I've got usually, and the funny thing is I've got so much to talk about on Monday, but I think that overdoes it at times. I mean, this was a little bit easier. Obviously, the Super Bowl last night, which wasn't a pretty Super Bowl at all. It wasn't very sexy. The reality was it was pretty much a game that was over early because one team's defense is ridiculous. The other's defense is good, but not ridiculous.
Seattle reigns above them all in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
He deserved that, Pat. What an incredible job he's done.
What a shot. Take it all in.
The Mike McDonald, the guy who is the coach, won the game. Man, that guy's story's great.
The guy from the Doobie Brothers coaches?
Yeah. Yes, he does. He said, I came from somewhere back in my long ago. But he, second year, I love this guy. So this guy he graduates from Georgia. He's got like a master's degree in some sort of like sports management. And he coaches high school football. And in 2013, he's out of a job. And he's like, I'm going to go get a real job. I got a life coming. So he goes and he gets a contract with KMPG, the accounting firm. I'm going to go join Wall Street Middle America. And the Ravens call and say, hey, we'd like you to be an intern here for us. And he's like, okay. And then here he is 14 years later, and he's a Super Bowl champion in his second season as a head coach, which was great. But that game, it was nothing. It was just... It was, I said with the game, what pissed me off is they called back that touchdown run at the end from Ken Walker Jr., or Kenny Walker the third, which bummed me out because I think I predicted 36-14 or something like that, and it ended up being 29-13. So it was close. It was just never going to happen, though. The game was just, it shows you defense wins. And here's the other thing. This is the new formula in the NFL. The new formula in the NFL is win early with your young players because eventually they're going to want money. Money. And when you have a salary cap, guess what happens? Those players, they get money elsewhere. Oh, yeah. They get money elsewhere. And that's what's going to happen with this team. And they also got a good deal on Sam Darnold. And how about that guy, right? Like Sam Darnold, so I'm from Southern California. I'm from the OC. He's from the OC. And everybody knew who he was. And he went to, USC, and he was all of the things at USC. And then he ends up getting a situation where you're going to go to the worst team in sports is the Jets. Just awful. That's where you go to just, look, they broke Aaron Rodgers on the first play of the season. And then after a couple crappy years, goes to Carolina, starts a little bit. Then they bring in Baker. Nothing ever happens. Then from there, he goes to San Francisco, spends a year as a backup to the last pick in the draft. And he learns. And he learns from their coaches. Then he goes to Minnesota, does what he does last year, then goes there, still on a cheap contract, helps them win. And then he gets to go, of course, to Disneyland, which is also the thing. They brought that back last night, which made me laugh. I haven't seen this one in a while.
Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker III. You and the Seattle Seahawks had just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next? We're going to Disneyland!
So there's $100,000 free and Disneyland. I think they're going to Disneyland today. So Kenneth Walker III, who won the Super Bowl, he's the MVP last night. His dad went to the game, which everybody's like, oh, no, his dad goes to every game except he never goes to the games. He flies out every week with his son to the place where they're going to play, but he never goes to the game because crowds make him nervous and he freaks out. It's the first time he's seen his son play in the NFL. That's pretty awesome.
Can't they just give him put him in the owner's booth or something? Owner's box?
Owners' booths are expensive, and in the Super Bowl, you're probably talking $3-4 million bucks.
Yeah, but his son could just go to the owner and go, look, my dad freaks out around crowds. Can we get him a seat in there?
I think if you're going to go to any game, if crowds make you nervous, the Super Bowl is it because it's mostly corporate sponsors. So these people are there because they know somebody. They're not there because they're big fans. So they're not there to watch the halftime show. The halftime show. What was that about? I watched it. Is what it is. Did you like it? Did you love it? You hated it. Some of you. Some of you thought it was I had several people text me and go, yeah, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought.
I watched some of it on YouTube earlier, and I thought, this is okay. I'm not.
You're not a reggaeton.
Bad Bunny ain't sitting around going, how come we don't have him? He's in our demographic.
Yeah.
No, I'm not in your demographic.
That's exactly the big thing right there. Right, the demographic. They're trying to get Latin America bad. They would like half NFL. This is the funny thing. They see the opportunity to have an NFL South America before they have an NFL Europe. And the reason is the time zones. It's easier to get to in certain situations. They see this as an opportunity of opportunities. And his numbers, by the way, I was going over, he gets 93 million listens a day on Spotify. 93 million listens a day.
Who?
Bad Bunny.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes total sense.
That's a lot of listens.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only person that even comes close to what he does, and she surpassed, they kind of trade off, but he and Taylor Swift.
He was number one last year.
But the two of them basically
that's it.
Own streaming.
That back and forth, they own it. Wonder what he gets for 93 million. Wonder what he gets. I would assume he's got a deal kind of like Taylor Swift, where she's cut her own deal.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So,
I don't think the numbers would, the given numbers wouldn't necessarily matter.
Because what they say on average, if you get 1 million streams, is what, $8,000? Give or take?
Yeah, I think so.
So if he's doubling, let's say he gets $20,000 for 1 million streams, and he's getting 93 million of them a day, that's good money if you can get it. That's good money. And he had some, what was it? He had some, he had Lady Gaga came out, Ricky Martin, and, the interesting stuff. So he walks through the field, right? The cornfield and the fields. The first person he comes up to is a taqueria, that little stand. That's actually a real stand and a real guy that's from Los Angeles. Then he goes around and he does his stuff. Those people were actually married, by the way, which is, for those of you who don't know, they were married. They invited him to his to the wedding, and he's like, but you know what? You could do it live on the Super Bowl. So that actually was a real marriage, which I thought was interesting. And then I watched a bit of the other one. I didn't watch all of them because the reason was I have a little daughter who decided yesterday, hey, Dad, what? I'm going to pull my mattress out because I haven't done enough flips today. I turned around. She's got her giant, huge, like foam mattress, this big thing. It was like 100 pounds. She's pulling on her back so she could do somersaults all day in the middle. I'm watching the game, somersault, 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 flip, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, oh, there you go. That's the beauty of kids.
I'm pretty sure it's not 8,000 a day. Because if it was 4,000 a day, that would 4,000 times 93 million is still 372 billion. So that's not right.
No, dollars?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, if he gets 8,000, let's say he gets 10,000 per million and he gets 93, so, he's looking at probably, about he's making what, 90 plus 10,000, so it's a decent amount of money if he's getting that many streams a day. But I don't know how the streams work. Do you have to listen to the whole thing all the way through? Is it a new stream?
There's a minimum time that has to be captured before they count it as a stream.
Yeah. So Sandra's like, I don't care. I'm not into dudes in dresses. He didn't wear a dress, by the way, yesterday. For those of you not keeping score.
I did.
And he didn't wear a dress. You know what's funny is the whole dress thing. And I'm like, oh, so you hate Bowie? Wait, what? You don't like Queen, obviously. Or the Stones. Or then you start rattling off all of these people at one time or another who have blurred the line for some other reason, for whatever reason. It's like, come on. You didn't like it because it's not your jam. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for me. It was meant for a younger generation that they're trying to bring along. And here's the other thing, and this is what people don't forget too. The World Cup's going to be here in a few months. The NFL understands what's coming to their shores. And the fact is that not only is that an issue for them, that many of the big influencers this year chose to skip the NFL because the World Cup had already had them signed and wanted them to only focus on the World Cup.
Okay, I looked it up, and he made 30 million stream money last year, and that was for 19.8 billion streams.
How much did he make?
30 million.
And that's just for music he's already got out there.
Yeah, that's just from streaming.
It's good money if you can get it. It's good money if you can get it.
Actually, that was just from Spotify.
Yeah, just from Spotify. Good God. Damn. It's crazy. So a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to talk a little bit. The Epstein stuff is getting weirder and weirder. And if you haven't heard, apparently they put out a statement before they actually put it out. And it was dated the day before he mysteriously was murdered by himself. So that's getting weirder and weirder. Howard Lutnick in some trouble. Got a bunch of other stuff. And in Georgia, a case just got dismissed against a family who let their kid scooter on his own down the street. It's nuts. And wait till you hear what the family had to go through, but also what they asked the kids when CPS came into the house, which was also insane. We got some Olympic updates. Horrible crash from our good friend Lindsey Vaughn. She ate it big time. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. This is the Monday edition of the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Board Capital wants to talk to you about how they can help you with your investments and your retirement. They're going to give you a Know Your Risk portfolio review. It's absolutely free. They're going to show you what they're all about: lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. What can they do to give you the most upside potential when it comes to your investment and retirements? They are up in a major way over the last, I'd say, well, really, I mean, if we want to talk all the way back January of last year, they're up over 50%. And the reason is simple. How they look at value investing and assets changes daily, compared to just sticking around every day into a few small things inside a portfolio and hope that it works out for you. Find out what they can do for you. It's absolutely free. It's the Know Your Risk portfolio review. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's KNOW riskpodcast.com. Knowyourriskpodcast.com for Bork Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments fall risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 26351.
An arrest of a Nashville man in a case that brought out a hazmat team to a convenience store on Friday. We'll have that for you, as well as our midday money news. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Da-na-na. The game itself last night was defense wins championships. That's what it was. It's defense. And Patriots defense was good, but here's the thing. If you can't protect your quarterback, ask Sam Darnold, who won yesterday. If you can't protect your quarterback, it doesn't work. And it didn't. That guy was on his, Drake May was being chased around everywhere. And you can't have that. Last year, it was the exact opposite. Sam Darnold was on Minnesota, got sacked 9 times in one game in the playoffs. That doesn't win you anything. It doesn't. I was talking to our big boss here. He goes, I watched some of the Olympics while the game was going on. So I'm not going to lie to you, I did too. I watched some of the Olympics and got into curling, which we're going to be doing on Thursday. So Matt and I, and if Ken wants to show up.
Tea time, right?
Yeah, T-line.
T-line
or tea time. T-line, we're going to be out there. So I'm going to do my show from there. Matt's going to do his show from there, and then we're going to curl. Ken's coming out, so we're pretty pumped. I've been practicing, the whole going down thing where you go down and you got to try to glide along, and then you got to sweep.
Is Steph going to operate the broom?
I think she's thinking about going.
So she's going to operate the broom for you?
So, no. She's bringing a vacuum. I told her. So I watched, that crash from Lindsey Vonn. Whoo!
Did she get hurt?
Yeah, so she came around, it was 13 seconds in. It looks like her pole caught one of the
flags,
things, and she crashed. And they had to helicopter off. She's had 2 surgeries today. She snapped her leg.
Whoa. And that was on top of already having her ACL messed up.
On top of already having the ACL messed up. So she's not going to participate anymore. They don't have that kind of magic over there. So when they're helicoptering you off, that's usually not a good sight.
Do the Olympic teams I assume they take their own doctors, but would they have a surgeon on staff?
Yeah, they have surgeons on staff. And each, so the Olympic team probably has their own, the ski team probably has their own doctors. And so they took, it was a nasty, you're going 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. But she was early into it, and then it was boom. So that's 2 weeks in a row she was taken off. And then our girl Breezy Johnson won. Breezy! Like me a little Breezy Johnson.
Wait, was she on, Breezy's on the U.S. team?
Breezy's on the U.S. team. But you get Breezy Johnson, and then there was, before that long ago, you guys remember Peekaboo Street?
No.
So Peekaboo Street was one of our great skiers, and her parents were hippies, like super hippies. They told her she can name herself. So when she was like 5, she's like, I want to be called Peekaboo. They're like, okay. So they went and changed her name to Peekaboo. Otherwise, she was just a little girl. So I watched.
Like when Penn Jillette, when his wife was pregnant with his daughter, he was talking about the names.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to give her a middle name. They didn't want to give her a middle name. It's like, their middle names are stupid. And somebody that's in his organization was like, you got to give her a middle name. It's ridiculous for not. So he takes this book he had just written. It was a novel. And he opens it up and just opens it up blind, sticks a finger in the page and says, that's her middle name. What's the word? Crime fighter.
That's a good name. Crime fighter indeed. So it was a bad crash, but the Olympics have been interesting. Obviously, there's it's the woke Olympics, it's this, that, and the other. At some point in time, it's like, come on, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff because it's just ridiculous. Everybody's fighting all the time over something. Why are you asking our people about stuff? That's the other thing. I saw that with the Australian Open, the tennis tournament. The only ones getting asked questions at all about politics outside of the Ukrainians about the war are our people about Trump. Let's let it go. Stop asking questions. Go out there and do your stuff. They've got enough pressure on them anyways. Try to win. Go team, go. So but I watched the curling is fun. I don't think I'm going to be very good at. My thing is, I think I could probably do it once or twice, where you get down, but it's the getting up on the ice. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, third time your hip's completely out.
Yeah.
It's like, Steph, give me a hand.
I'm going to eat crap on that. And the people I know that have, because I tried it a long time ago, we didn't take it very seriously. Like, we're going to take it a little bit more serious. One of the things we were talking about is if you watch people that start new, they'll look straight down and they'll push off. And their whole goal is to kind of go straight. But because they're looking down, they kind of fly off to the side. So it'll be fun. But that is this week. So if you have a chance, come out and hang out with us. T-Line on Thursday. Both Matt and I are doing our shows from there, and Ken will be there as well. All right, coming up, some Epstein stuff. Talk a little bit more about the halftime show. A lot of people are curious about the halftime show. I watched a bit of both. I give my honest assessment. If you're missing the show, shame on you, grab the podcast. It is Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997.
It is 12:30. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories, a weather forecast, and it's a warm one. Yes, it's coming up here in just a bit. A man facing serious charges following a South Nashville hazmat incident involving an explosive device. Specialized investigation detectives have arrested 37-year-old Brandon Lamar Holt. This happened late Saturday night. Metro Police say he used gasoline to make an explosive device and leave it in a dumpster at a MAPCO store on Nolensville Pike at about 7:30 on Friday night. State and federal agencies responded to the scene and confirmed the object to be an improvised explosive device. According to police, a truck driver, he was delivering fuel to the store and he witnessed Holt with the item and had an interaction with the man when Holt asked him what type of gasoline, quote, burns quicker. Holt then bought a dollar's worth of gas, put it in the compartment of the device. He also asked the truck driver and the clerk for some tape for the device. Holt is charged with possessing a prohibited improvised explosive weapon. He was booked into the Davidson County Jail early Sunday morning with a bond set at $150,000, but he's not eligible for release. Let's get to today's midday money news. For that, we have Jim Ryan.
Rising tech shares have pulled the S&P 0.6% higher to start the week. The Nasdaq Composite was up more than 1% this morning. The Dow, which went into the weekend at a record high, was flat after the opening today. Novo Nordisk is suing online telehealth provider Hims & Hers for marketing cheaper, unapproved copies of its new Wegovy obesity pill and injections in the U.S. Novo's general counsel calls Hims' compounded formula a complete sham. Opening statements are underway in a trial brought by a 19-year-old against some of the biggest names in social media. The suit accuses YouTube and Meta, the parent to Instagram and Facebook, of creating platforms that get kids addicted. With Super Bowl 60 in the history books, advertisers who paid up to $10 million for prime advertising space during the game hope their investment pays off. Among the major ad buyers this year were prediction markets, Kalshi and Polymarket.
That is the latest news. We've got weather on the way. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Today, temperatures in the 60s this afternoon under plenty of sunshine. Tonight, we're down to the 40s for the overnight low. Tomorrow, increasing clouds quickly throughout the day. Temperatures, though, near, if not into the 70s. Tomorrow night into early Wednesday, a couple of rain showers come through. Wednesday is a cooler day. We're back in the 50s. We'll stay in the 50s the rest of our week. Dry Thursday. Rain moves in very late in the day Friday. Then more scattered showers coming for the weekend.
Busy Bee, it's February. Love is in the air. They want to give you a little bit of loving, and that includes an opportunity for you to win something awesome. The Valentine's Sweetheart Deal Giveaway. So, new customers, okay, right now, when you join the Beehive Club membership, anytime in February, you're automatically registered to win the Sweetheart Deal Giveaway. So, one lucky winner is going to enjoy exclusive relaxing massage for two from Third Coast Salt, Wilson County's best. $100 Visa gift card for a romantic dinner for two. And tune in to live drawing, which is going to happen this week on Facebook Live, the 13th. So check that out. And as a lot of you hit by storms, as we all know, you've struggled out there. They got storm force savings. So this is all focused on the storm issues that are out there right now. Help you take care of things. 40% off whole home surge protector with repairs. $500 off whole home water repipes. And I'm sure a lot of you out there having some issues with that. And don't forget the Busy Bee favorite 93 are free mainline clog promotion. If they can't clear it, you do not pay. Call them today. 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, or buzz over to busyvhvac.com. Dude. And last night, we lost our mind, as we tend to do, because we have to make everything about politics. There were 2 halftime shows, because that's what we do.
Take care. If you got a chance, take it. Take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it. 'Cause a dream won't chase you back. If you wanna love somebody, hold on as long and as strong and as close as you can. Take care.
He came out and he bombed to the bomb to dang to dang, bombed a little bit actually. Bombing more the operative word, because he lip synced originally.
For that one piece or the entire?
Just for that one thing. You know, you guys know this, right? And you know this, man. And sometimes your voice just can't. I think the only thing it did live there was My Name Was Kid Rock, because I'm sure screaming like that, it doesn't, ain't gonna last you. You're not 21 anymore.
Yeah.
Bobby ain't 21 anymore. But I thought he did a pretty damn good job there. It was what it was.
Where did they hold it?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Where do you think they held it?
Well, my mind immediately goes to Arizona, since that's where Turning Point's located. But
then I think, TBN, the studios are located there in Tustin and in Costa Mesa, California. I think they still may be in Costa Mesa. Let's find out where was the TPUSA halftime show filmed, but then I would think it would be right here, right? Atlanta, Georgia, at a warehouse. It was pre-taped. So, because you think all of them are country stars or in here on the West. Yeah, I mean, they're here in the Southwest. So you're not going to take them across the country for, half a day. So, there you go. That was, it was okay. I mean, I think overall they've had a lot of streams that have, apparently, so originally I went to X to find it. I was like, I'll just go on X. But right before it started, a few hours before, apparently they couldn't get licensing for some songs. And I thought, that's weird.
Well, that shows somebody screwing up way on the front end.
Yeah. So that ended up being a situation where you're like, okay, so you couldn't get licensing for some of that. So what ended up happening was they only did YouTube and Rumble, and I don't know if they're on Twitch because I don't watch Twitch. I keep saying I'm going to. But see, at one point, you had 6.1 million viewers on it. So that was pretty good. Right? So overall, 19 million plus views on their YouTube channel and going for there. So they think Bad Bunny drew over 130 million plus. We'll put it like second. Last year, Kendrick Lamar was the highest halftime show ever.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. So funny, I saw this comic talk about that. You guys are all upset about this guy because he's the expansion because none of you understand what Kendrick said last year. And I'm like, maybe he's got a point there. The Kendrick Lamar was fun last year because you're like, is he going to say it? Is he going to say it about Drake? Yeah. Is he going to say Drake's a kid toucher or whatever he said? And he sure did. He came out and he dropped it. So that was, again, I thought both of them were fine. I didn't, I'm not freaking out like, oh my God, what about? He did his thing. And I thought, he's a reggaeton and trap artist. So he comes out, he does his thing. It was all how much, we're better together, love stronger than hate, all that good stuff. One of the interesting things, he climbs up on power poles in the middle of it. That is because lots of Puerto Rico from like 3 years ago still, or even from, remember Trump went out there when they had the big storm and he's throwing stuff to people? They still have places where they have no power.
What, do they use NES?
No, NES is like, we learned from them what to do. But, which, by the way, I like how she came out. She's like, we're going to learn from this mistake. It's too little too late, ma'am.
Just fire her already.
Just go find that job that's going to pay you $260,000 to sit on a board where you don't have to be in front of anybody and do whatever it is you do. Take your parachute and shoot away.
Yeah, float some air under it. Let it take you up into the sky, and where you land is where you live. Hopefully
You can't
in
drop
the middle of the woods.
You can't drop everybody now because, I think it's got to be the whole crew. Like, everybody's got to go.
Oh, I agree. The board's got to be replaced. I mean, those people were incompetent in hiring her, and they're stupid for supporting her.
Yeah. And then TVA, we're going to get into this, too, because they've come out and they're pledging fairness in their rate, the electric rate fairness, because now, and I've been telling you guys this for a while, what is coming with these data centers is massive, and be prepared for that. And TVA's come out as like, we promise we're going to have electric rate fairness. Okay, we promise that. I mean, you guys are only going to pay a little bit more. It's going to be okay. It's not just about how much you're going to pay, which matters, but also what happens with all of these things start, like we had here, the power. If everything went sideways here with the power, and who do you think is going to get their power fixed first?
Data center.
The data center. If there's going to be rolling blackouts or brownouts, who do you think's getting to go down first? Us. They're the ones always and across all of these contracts that stay on. And they're going to pitch, there's going to be jobs. There's no jobs with these things. They build them up, and then that's all they need.
Are they getting tax breaks to build one here?
Oh, I'm sure they're getting tons of them. I mean, each place is a little different. I know Texas, like they were, wooing some places, to have people come out. And that's great. But, they talk about the jobs, right? And what happens? Yeah, there's jobs to build some of these, but you're not building intricate buildings. and then everybody's manning it. You're building a building that's just going to, house all of these giant servers and computers and whatnot, and you'll have a few people that work there and some people that protect it. That's it. But the cost is through the roof. And one of the things I was interested last week, Elon Musk said data center power in the future is going to be in space. I'm like, I'd like to see that. So how's that working?
This scenario really sounds like they should have just said, we don't need a data center here. Peace out.
Yeah. Peace out.
I mean, if it's not bringing significant jobs in and it's causing a rate increase in electricity and they're going to be no, go away.
And if it's going to cost us more, if it's going to take up major areas in certain places, they're going to get tax breaks, and we're going to be the ones on the hook for some of that stuff, and we're going to be the ones who are going to be paying the price when it comes to the, whose power gets shuts off first. Yeah, no. But the problem is Trump and Tennessee are so conjoined, and Trump is all about AI, and I love AI too, but I also like the fact that people are paying massive prices elsewhere when they were warned, and we're ahead of this. I like the fact that we're ahead and we're able to go and say, not so fast. I want to see what your fairness looks like. I want to see I want to go look at the fine print. What exactly is going to happen if prices go through the roof, right? Is there some sort of thing where we're getting a rebate back? Because TVA has already had enough issues.
Pamela Furr just texted me and said there's a bill in the General Assembly right now, HB 1847, which would make the data centers pay for their own infrastructure.
Yeah, that'd be great. Again, would be.
She's looking up the sponsors for me.
I appreciate that. And then, what TB just said, too, the amount of water. So the amount of water, depending on how big it is huge that it sucks up. Those things, cooling those places is hard, right? And you know this, Bell, like liquid cooling is the best, right? Your little fan's okay, but liquid cooling for this kind of stuff is what's needed.
Yeah, if you've got a gaming computer, you want liquid cooling, not the fans.
So private companies can own and operate nuclear plants. I would love nuclear. Everybody's scared of nuclear. Everybody's scared that if we're going to get nuclear next, we know what we're doing. We're better at it now. The 3 Mile Island thing, let it go. I want to be the leader when it comes to data centers. That'd be great, but I don't want it to cost all of us 30, 40, 50%, 60% hikes in water and heating your home and energy prices, because that's not going to help us, right? I don't care if gas falls down to $1.50 if everything else in the house goes up by 60%. It doesn't help.
Pamela says Senator Brett Taylor in the state Senate and Representative Ed Butler in the state House are sponsoring it, and they are both members of the GOP.
We should get them on, have a little conversation, find out what they're doing. I mean, they're horrible for the environment. That's what TP said. They are. They are horrible for the environment. They are, and we can still do it better than other places around the globe that don't care about any of this stuff. But we need to take a look, take away the environmental stuff. So if you're like, I don't care about the environment, that's fine. Do you care about how much it's going to cost to heat your home, right? To cool your home? Do you care about how much it's going to cost in the summertime when all of a sudden your bill goes up by 200%? You're like, what? Go look at Virginia. Virginia, by the way, put up a whole bunch of them. People in Virginia are like, oh my God.
Well, in Virginia also, the governor is now just starting the tax and spend cycle is going to be huge.
She is huge. Gonna tax and it's gonna be great. No taxing here. She is, man. Like she's making Mondani.
I mean, she lied right out of her face during the campaign that there wasn't going to be some massive taxes put on the people, and she's just listing them off like it's her wish list.
Like she makes Mondani look like he doesn't even know what a tax is. She came out, she's like, hear ye, everybody pays more all the time. Tax. And I'm like, oh, goodness me. My speaking of Virginia, so the monks, we'll get to the monks, they're walking today. They're going to be they're going to try to get to Arlington, and where they're staying tonight is right next to my buddy's house. I'm like, dude, you got to go out and meet him. He's like, no, I'm going to go out. I'm going out. My other producer for my Nashville show.
I actually finally saw a video on Instagram of them.
So, yeah.
And they were pretty bundled up, but they were walking in some cold conditions.
It's cold. It's cold out there, brother. It's cold out there, Brother Bell. It's cold out there indeed. All right, coming up, talk a little bit about the Monks. Where are they? As their message is now getting bigger and bigger, more and more people are paying attention to them as they get closer and closer to D.C. We'll talk a little bit more about that, among other things, all straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Omaha Steaks President's Day sale-a-thon is going on right now. So just what the Founding Fathers wanted you to have, just what our first president, George Washington, would love this. Even with his teeth, he would love this. Why? Because they have the best steaks around. Succulent, amazing fillets wrapped in bacon. They've got all the protein you could dream of when it comes to chicken and burgers, all of this amazing stuff ready for you. And you're going to save big. Are you ready? 50% off site-wide right now. And we're talking about all of the amazing handcrafted, incredible steaks, pork chops, chicken, burgers, dogs. They got it all right now. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness. My daughter loves these steaks, which she's got expensive taste, which I love. But normally she doesn't eat stuff like this, but she loves the fillets. So I got to feed her fillets. That's how she rolls. But thank you to Omaha Steaks. We can do that. Now, here's another great thing. Over 100 years, they've been here doing their thing. America's Butcher since 1917. 100% money back guarantee, bite for bite. So that's what I want you to do. Save 50% right now. When you go to omahasteaks.com, you're like, oh, that's nice. 50% off site-wide President's Day sale. And when you go there, type in Benson, an extra $35 off when you check out. That's 50% off for the President's Day sale at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code Benson at checkout.
Social media platforms are on trial in New Mexico, and this trial may be setting a precedent depending on its outcome. Body cam footage has also been released from the December Brown University shooting. That's all coming up 1 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
Now it's time for your daily Monk March update.
Time for you to leave.
So the monks on their march left early today. They were in well, they're going to Arlington today. So their man, as Bell said, they got they're bundled up. Somebody asked me, are these the same kind of monks that are like the Dalai Lama? Not the same, kind of within the sphere.
Dalai Lama adjacent.
Yeah, they're all kind of Dalai Lama adjacent. So they are on their walk, going to get there. It looks like they're going to get there. It's 120 days is what they said. So we're 13 days, 12
What's
days?
their final destination?
D.C. They're going to go to the capital.
Is there a place in D.C.?
I don't know what they have set up. I'm sure they have something set up. So they're going to give a big, this is a march for peace. And their whole thing is it's about peace. And they want to try to bring people together. Doesn't matter the faith. This is just about peace, kindness, giving people the opportunity, to see something different. Man, God bless them for it. Go do your thing, man. But it's been fun to watch them. And the outpouring of love they've got from, across the country. And the head, I don't know what you call him, Master Poe, the head monk. He, every time he goes somewhere, looks like a police officer or fireman gives him one of the badges. So he's got like a full thing of badges and stuff. He looks like a dictator from a third world country.
Oh, they're giving him badges as souvenirs.
Souvenirs, yeah. So they will be there. They say it's a 120-day march. Today's the 107th day. So what are we, 12 days away from that? So what is that, the 20th, give or take? 21st? And then they're going to give a big speech. And, barring, of course, as they like to say, is the weather. Because as you said, Belle, the weather up and down the East Coast still is pretty nasty out there. It's nasty. So we shall see. We shall see how that goes. It's going to be, I want to see what happens when they get there. What kind of reception they get. If I'm Trump, you know what? Hey, come hang out. I want to meet you guys. I want to talk to you. And they would too, because that's, and there's where Trump would pivot and you go, look, oh, that's really cool. So we'll see. We'll see what that, we'll see if they do that. And the dog is with him and the dog is fine. In the super cold, they said the dog's not walking. The dog sits inside the van with the heater on. Plus the dog had the big cone on because it had to have surgery, which is not good. I'm sure if your cat's ever had to have surgery and had to wear that cone, it's hilarious.
No.
No?
No, I've never had a cat that had to have that kind of surgery to where they have to wear a cone.
The cones are hilarious. Let's all be real. The cones are funny. So funny. Our dogs haven't had it because we got them when they were younger, but they were already fixed and the whole night. Same thing with our cat. But when they wear the cone, it's a little funny. It is. It is. All right, coming up, hour number 2 of the program. A little bit more about the Super Bowl and some of the chaos of the argumenting over the wokeness, non-wokeness, this, that, and the other. Talk a little bit about that. Epstein, chaos as well. Got some of your text messages, and there's plenty of them. The good, the bad, the indifferent. Bunch of other good stuff on the way. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We love it when you do. Make sure you grab that to podcast. Otherwise, shame. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
It is 1 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. Stand by for a pretty good-looking weather forecast. It's coming up. Getting underway today in New Mexico is a social media trial examining whether Meta platforms, namely Facebook and Instagram, did enough to protect younger users from harmful content on those platforms. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more.
Prosecutors in the case say the algorithms used by Meta's platforms created a breeding ground for predators to target young people. Experts say the case could give states a new legal pathway to go after social media companies over how their platforms affect children. Few states over, a California court is expected to hear opening arguments this week in a case brought by a 19-year-old about whether common social media platforms are creating addictive behaviors in children. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Instagram CEO Adam Mosseri, he's expected to testify on Wednesday in the California case. And Mark Zuckerberg, he takes the stand next week. Police body cam footage from the deadly mass shooting in December has been released. We hear now from ABC Sherry Preston.
Shut down all traffic on Hope and Brook.
The body cam footage released shows officers were clearly trying to not only help victims, but to make sure no one else got hurt.
The front and the back of this building, we need to shut traffic down.
As police were searching the building where the gunman opened fire, they realized there were people shot and others who needed to get out of the line of fire.
Get these rescues in. Let's get them to a rescue.
2 students were killed, 9 others wounded. The gunman turned out to be a former Brown student who also went on to kill an MIT professor who was one of his classmates.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, Nashville Electric Services, or NES, they announced today they're taking significant steps to support its customers and address their winter storm response amid outrage from the community. The special called board meeting today began with NES board chair Ann Davis announcing the utility company will conduct an independent review on winter storm response. The review will be independent. They want to stress that and investigate everyone from the CEO down to the utility workers. Additionally, Davis says it will be shared upon completion as the board works on an aggressive timeline. No date has been set as to when all that review will be completed and announced. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
yeah. Happy Monday. If you went to work today, today's show is powered by NCA National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. 645. That license number. Do it. They're awesome. We talk about a lot of stuff today, crazy stuff. A lot of you chiming in about obviously the halftime show. Did you watch it? Did you love the halftime show? I thought it was good. You know, it's what it is. Again, not meant for you and I. Not meant for Bell. Not meant for us. Meant for a TikTok world of young kids. That's who Bad Bunny is.
That's why I laughed so hard when Mike Johnson was like, well, they should get Lee Greenwood.
That was how mighty white were you on that one?
It's so toned down, too.
We should get Lee Greenwood. That'll be great. I was showing Belle some of the concerts, the halftime shows. There was one where Mickey Mouse came out in 91 and they were singing, right? And then the next year it was a hodgepodge of like, you know, seemed to be like Disney thieves. And then the next year was Michael Jackson. And then it was like Patti LaBelle. It's just, well, this time it was Bad Bunny. He is an American. Well, he speaks in Spanish. So he sings in Spanish. He's an American.
There's a lot of citizens.
Yes, Jay.
Chad, I've got a halftime show for you.
Jay
Hey, yes,
Harper.
I'm back here in the dark. I was actually at Super Bowl 7 in New Orleans. I was 11 years old.
Holy moly.
Yeah, 11 years old. It was, man, a classic game, though. You had Dolphins, Cowboys, Tom Landry, Don Shula, Bob Greasy, Roger Staubach. Anyway, this happened Tulane Stadium. This was before the Superdome was built. So it was outside. This is like January of 72. Okay. You know who the halftime show was?
Who?
Carol Channing.
Oh.
And Al Hurt.
Al Hurt? I don't know.
You don't know who Al Hurt was? A very famous trumpet player, a New Orleans trumpet player. It was actually Al Hurt and Pete Fountain. Pete Fountain was a clarinet guy, but they appeared on a lot of national variety shows that we used to have back in the 60s and 70s on national TV. So they were known to the other folks besides just New Orleans. But yeah, that was your halftime show. This is Carol Channing and Al Hurt. And so, yes, times have indeed changed.
And how long was it? It was probably 12, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't
long
30
at all.
minutes.
Yeah.
That's just, it wasn't 30 minutes where they come out and those guys, they have to warm up, warm down, warm up, warm down, and, you know, all that stuff. I'm amazed, too. If you saw the field's covered in stuff, and then when they go to commercial break, come back, nothing's there anymore, which is awesome.
Yeah, having produced concerts in my life, I can really appreciate what, just the logistics and all that they go through, these halftime shows, and how quickly they pull this off. It's impressive from that perspective.
Yeah, it was, again, I thought it was what it was. If you didn't like Bad Bunny for whatever reason, here's the funny thing, for never hearing him and only hearing what one side tells you about him, then you don't know who he is and don't care. But he wasn't for you and me, right? Guess what? Kendrick Lamar last year, I love Kendrick, but he wasn't for me. As far as like, oh, Chad will love this. Middle-aged white guy dig Kendrick Lamar. Wasn't for me. Right? That's the game. And by the way, the audience is almost separate at times than the game audience.
Oh, I thought it had been for like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You have people that don't care about the game that show up for halftime. And then once the game picked up again, they're like, see ya.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. You know, the way that it works is you get a lot of people who they'll watch the commercials, they'll watch it kind of sparingly, but they'll tune in specifically for that. And then they don't watch the game because they don't care about sports.
And if your beef with Bad Bunny is that he speaks Spanish in addition to English, there's a lot of citizens that speak Spanish in addition to English. So shut up about that.
Yeah. I will say his English, way better than my Spanish, although my Spanish is not bad. Somebody said, Chad, can you, because you guys hear about all of the bad songs, right? The trap songs and the stuff in Spanish. again, Kid Rock's out there. We know some of the stuff that he said. So everybody, and the stuff yesterday, right? You know, some of the all of them you could translate. There's nothing really horrific in them. So, you know, my name is Benito Antonio Martinez Acacio. If I'm standing here today at Super Bowl 60s, because I never stopped believing myself, because that was one of the things he started whispering and talking to everybody. You're worth more than you think you are. Trust me. And most of them were just, you know, songs about love, songs about happiness. Lady Gaga was there. That's 2 times Lady Gaga. She was 9 years ago. I thought she did a good job. I like Lady Gaga. She did a good job when she hosted it. Trump talked about, it was just all the gyrating and the dancing. I'm like, settle down. Have you seen your parties where you've got the girls swimming inside giant martini glasses?
All the gyrating. Well, it sounds like
all the gyrating and stuff.
I saw somebody kiss a girl.
That's right, Katy Perry.
Offended me.
Katy Perry's still my favorite just because of Left Shark dancing around doing his thing when nobody else knew. He knew nothing about what was happening. He was told 5 minutes before, put the damn shark uniform on. You're going to be in the front. Just do your own thing. People will love you. People will. So it was, you know, is what it is. People, there's a Mediaite had a Colby Hall, good author, really good, you know, writer, had a big thing today in Mediaite that basically said, how did we get here? Like, how did this become something we have, you know, how dumb have we become? That we take, it doesn't matter what it is, by the way. It could be up or down, and people will find a way to make it political. It could be left or right. They'll find a way to make it political. I mean, hell, if Carol Channing hosted it today, somebody'd be mad at Carol Channing. It's just nuts. And unfortunately, it's what modern politics has become, which is loud, reality television, people fighting over stuff that is negligible in the effect, in many cases, on any of their lives. And because of that, we're separated. Why? Why are we separated? Why are we fighting with each other? Most of us agree on 7+ things, probably. But you only see the crazies. Like, the left only sees the wackadoos in the MAGA world, right? The crazies in the MAGA world. The right is only shown the people that are the wackiest and weirdest, purple hair, and they think everybody's that way. And that's not true. It's a small group of people on both sides that the powers that be use to divide. Oh, yeah. And it's sad that we've become that way. It is. I wish we weren't. I wish we weren't that way. I wish we could actually have conversations and find nuance and come together. It's the one thing. Well, I remember when I used to travel, especially when I was younger, by myself a lot. Like, a lot. And I would travel, and you'd see somebody, like, you know, and you'd be in a place where you didn't know anybody, but you see somebody and have a Yankee hat on or a Dodger hat or something, and or you know, University of Michigan or whatever it was, and oh my God, I love Michigan. Do you like Michigan? Just what it brought you together. It wasn't about left or right. It's like there was a commonality there.
When you lived in Europe, what was the country you went to that was the most anti-American, where you just get crap from the locals?
French, but only in Paris.
Really?
Yeah. Outside of Paris, they're fine, but they don't speak a lot of English. And by the way, the French, they hate us the least. When I was with my English friends over there, they hate the English. That was always funny. But yeah, I would get a lot of crap in there.
What was it like in Italy?
Italy was nice. Now, in Germany, here's the thing. If you were playing soccer, as we were, on the field, we got a lot of crap.
Well, that's just because they're so passionate about soccer.
Well, yeah,
over there.
plus,
if you're not on their team, that makes you evil.
Yeah, but, you know, on top of that, even on our team, right, I had to break through barriers because the hatred of, because this was back at a time when, you know, you could only have a few foreigners on the thing, and they saw you as you were taking another English guy's spot. So one of my good friends Seb was amazing. He went over to play in Germany, and he was born and raised in Poland, but he's an American citizen. He went over to play over there. First, he got signed to a contract. First day training with the first team, they snapped his leg on purpose. Don't take it, Germans.
That killed his career.
Pretty much, yeah. It took him a long time to get back, and it was crap. But so you get a lot of that, but for the most part, it was okay. But the French hate everybody. They hate themselves, by the way. I don't think people realize that. They do. But Spain wasn't as bad as is now. Like now they don't want tourists, but they don't want any tourists, right? They don't care if you're Canadian or you're American or they don't want any tourists in Barcelona. But some of the Eastern European countries weren't as, as friendly and stuff. But it was, again, but we all agree on so many damn things. That's the funny thing. When I talk to my friends on the left and right, there's so many things to agree on. We may differ on how to get to certain places, but for the most part, we agree. We want good schools, right? We want a solid border. I got a lot of friends on the left who were outraged at Biden's ridiculousness in the way he handled the border. Now, they may want a little bit more legal immigration than some people do, but that being said, they don't want what we had, which was, come on over, just say the magic words. I'm here to apply for asylum. Go into our country and we'll see you in 8 years when you show up maybe or don't. I mean, that was insane. So there's a lot of what we want the same, just the different on how we get there.
It's also, it just stands out to me so blaringly that his constant, I need this border law passed. I don't have the powers. I can't do anything. Oh. Trump gets into office, and within 2 weeks, it's like, okay, fixed.
One swipe of the pen. So I always talk about my friends who are Border Patrol agents because I lived literally on the border. If you would have left my house in my little, you come out of my, not the complex, we lived in this neighborhood, you come out and you turned left. If you turned right, you go down to the freeway and you're in onto Phoenix. And it's about, 60 miles to Phoenix. But if you turn left and you went probably a mile, you were on to the Tohono O'odham tribe, which is this is the tribe that is out there in Arizona, and that is where all of the trafficking is done for the most part between Tucson and Phoenix. But after about 30 minutes, you're in Mexico. And it's a straight shoot. You're at the Sea of Cortez in 2 hours. And so everybody around me was a border agent. And they would tell me, with Trump, it was turn, send back. With Obama, turn, send back, right? If you caught them, and Obama's thing was, if you caught them within 10 miles of the border, you could turn them around and send them back, something like that. With Biden, they said we're just glorified secretaries. That was it. We're glorified secretaries. We're taking names. We're doing all this stuff. They know exactly what to say. We were glorified secretaries. Every week it was some new little thing, and it was throw the laws away. This is what we're doing now, which is frustrating. Frustrating. That's a tough job, too, to have. It is. It's a tough job. One of my good friends, he is play a lot of pickleball together. That's how I knew him. Played a ton of pickleball with all these guys. He would tell me how tough it is because you come up, especially in the summer, people are willing to try to get across, and you find a dead body, you find a dead kid in family because they couldn't get to water, and they were traveling for God knows how many days, overnight, and that's a tough thing to see, And he goes, "You're not human if you can't feel that." So, just one of those things, And somebody just texted in and said, "Look, I love the show." Right? You can be pro-ICE and still love the show that he did. And Hispanic culture, Latin culture. I love burritos, tacos.
What also bothers me is, two things can be true at the same time. That these illegals have got to go, yes, especially the dangerous ones.
Absolutely.
But ICE can also be abusing their authority at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to get hurt, but it's always, I was in fear for my life. Well, what if I was in fear for my life and I have less training and less understanding of what to do? if I shot you, it would be murder. If you shot me, it's self-defense.
It's exactly. And some of the stuff they're saying, too, should disturb us all, that we're putting your face in a database and we're going to find out. Some of this is like, what are you guys doing, right? You know, as a citizen, you want to come down and crack on all of us, right? You walk by, they got facial recognition, they're doing certain things. Yeah, there's some issues I think we should all have there, because why? We like our freedoms. We enjoy those freedoms, and we should damn well be able to have those freedoms without the fear and the repercussion of our government stepping on our throats. All right, coming up, bunch of stuff still to get to. I want to talk about that Epstein stuff, which is so bizarre. Bill Maher and Adam Carolla had a really good conversation the other day, and it's out now. And he does this. I forgot what the name of his Bill Maher's podcast is. All I know is they drink and smoke.
Yeah, it's crap. If you hadn't have said it, I would have been able to.
See, I always forget what it's called.
Club Random.
Yes, Club Random. So he and Carolla had some really interesting things. We'll talk a bit about that, among other things. Straight ahead, Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. All right, guys. Relief Factor is awesome. Brian's one of my listeners for a long time. He's like, dude, I heard you talk about this. I was going to try it. I'm like, try it. So he did. I didn't hear anything from him. He goes, I ordered it. I didn't hear anything for, several weeks. Then he gets back to me. He goes, dude, I did the 3-week quick start thing. I said, yeah, and how'd it go? He goes, like 90% of my pain's gone. I said, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, I was surprised. Oh, that's awesome. Because it was starting to affect his life. Now, what is it? This helps you fight inflammation. All right, that's what it is. It's natural. You take them every single day, these pills, and it's going to help you with your inflammation. It's going to help you with the aches and pains in your joints, but things like with your muscles, even, just the everyday things where you wake up and you're like, I'm sore. You watch what happens. He goes, I feel 1,000 times better. That could be you as well. I want you to try this stuff. It is amazing. Relief Factor is incredible. It works for so many people. I know it'll work for you. It's going to change. I mean, how would you like to be out of pain, right? Without having to go through all the rigmarole of so many different things. This is going to help you with the day-to-day inflammation, especially with your muscles and your joints. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-4RELIEF. Get the 3-week quick start right now. Tell them Chad sent you.
Jeffrey Epstein dominating the day today on Capitol Hill. We'll have a report. Also, more on the missing mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. We'll have those stories coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What about the commercials, Chad? There were some okay commercials. The Skittles commercial with Elijah Wood I thought was funny because he shows up and he's got like one horn and he's got like three legs and he looks like he's arguing with these kids who, again, it showed you how old he is compared to them.
Most teenagers order candy from an app.
Well, most teenagers don't have a Skittles horn.
I don't think you get it. I didn't sign up for this. I have no free will.
Yeah, which is great.
It really isn't. But you know what is great? If you go and go puff, you can see how Skittles is delivering their big game commercial starring Elijah Wood to someone's house.
They'll really deliver it to my house?
They'll perform it on your lawn.
What if I'm not home?
Well, that's kind of on you, isn't it?
Do I get to keep it?
I don't know.
Deliver the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Which I thought was funny because he was pissed because they also said, we don't know who Elijah Wood is. Because you don't know who he is? Right? He's a great actor. Never heard of him. They don't care. Right? Because they're kids. Again, they don't care. The other one.
He's not their demo.
He's not their demo. This one, though, Thor, right? Thor bringing in a snake that's poisonous.
Look at this little beauty I found in the garden.
Nice snake, Chris.
Hey, whoa, what is that?
Our new Alexa Plus.
That she's not living here. That is full-on AI. One minute we're all buddies, then the next minute she's trying to kill us.
Now, Chris, how exactly would I do that?
A million different ways. Maybe I'm taking out the trash.
The door's jammed. Take a closer look while I pull up a tutorial. A little to the left.
You're a widow.
I was born in this deli.
And this was Adam Sandberg as he was Meal Diamond, and he's stuck inside of a deli, Meal Diamond, and it's for Hellman's.
I was born in this deli. My best friend was that baloney. That is until I met you. Ham, touching cheese, touching you. Sweet sandwich time.
So those were pretty good. There wasn't anything like, oh, that's amazing. It's incredible. But there was one commercial that was very interesting, and it came on right before the game. Had to do with Epstein.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
And they had the black tape around their mouths, and they held up pictures of themselves as young girls saying, these girls deserve the truth. And I thought, ooh, that wasn't a good one.
It's a hoax.
It's all a hoax. It's a great hoax. Never been a bigger hoax in the history of hoaxes. Stop looking behind us. Let's go back to 2020. So that was fairly an interesting one for sure. And, you know, Jay's going to have it here at the bottom of the hour, what's going on in D.C., because I've told you guys this. The Epstein stuff is not going anywhere. And the only person, by the way, who is still getting yelled at or in trouble is Prince Andrew, because he is also now apparently done something else. And Keir Starmer may be taken down because of this. So there's a lot still going on, just not here with the vast majority of people that we know who did awful things, allegedly, but we'll never know the truth. Which makes you think, I guess they got away with it, right? All right, we'll talk a little bit about that. Among other things, got some of your text messages as well. I tried to respond as fast as possible, but we're getting stuff ready. You guys know how it goes. Here, Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 1:30. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A weather forecast is mere minutes away. Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, pleaded the Fifth today in a brief appearance before the House Oversight Committee. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
The witness appeared remotely from her prison camp in Texas. She didn't offer any testimony.
Obviously, it's very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer says Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney told the panel she would have provided testimony if she'd been granted clemency by President Trump. Comer said it's his view she's not worthy. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Investigators in Pima County, Arizona, say now over a week into the search for Nancy Guthrie, they have no persons of interest, no suspects, and no vehicles of interest. They don't know if Guthrie is dead or alive. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
According to law enforcement sources, the focus of the investigation is right now on tonight's deadline from the initial ransom note. But investigators are still not certain of the authenticity of either of the two notes received last week. Investigators have been focused in on the notes because seemingly they have few other leads. But it remains unknown if the same person wrote both of the notes and if the notes are even authentically from whomever took Nancy Guthrie. Guthrie's children on Friday night put out a video saying they are willing to pay to get their mother back.
Here in Middle Tennessee, a lineman was arrested after allegedly assaulting and seriously injuring a coworker during power restoration in Madison. That's according to newly obtained arrest papers by local media outlets. The assault allegedly happened on January 30th after our big winter storm, but it was not reported to police until February 6th. That was this Friday. The victim, who was also a lineman, told police he was working with 36-year-old Harley DeLine outside a home in Madison when an argument just broke out. The victim told police DeLine was trying to turn on a transformer before it was safe to do so. Police noted the victim did have a very visible injury. That's a quote. A doctor told him he had a torn pectoral muscle and a torn shoulder and that he needs surgery. The injured lineman told police he believed the ambush was premeditated. DeLine has been charged with aggravated assault, and per court records, his bond was set at $10,000. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Rain moves in very late in the day Friday, then more scattered showers coming for the weekend.
All right, guys. Good friends at Beacon want to talk to you. With all the stuff going on right now, the one big beautiful bill out there, the opportunity for you to take advantage of great things in the tax world is there, especially if you're over 65. So if you're over 65 right now, I don't know if you understand this, up until the 2028, if you're 65 or older, you're eligible for additional senior deduction up to $6,000 for the phase-out. It's not complete elimination of taxes and Social Security benefits, but it does give you some temporary tax funding options during these years. Top of that, they got above-the-line charitable deductions, up to $10,000 in car loan interest, and many other things that they can help you with. That's just one thing that they do over there at Beacon. Investments? Yeah. Retirement? They can help you with that. Long-term care, estate planning, health care, you name it, they can do it all. So why don't you do this? Call Beacon today. Get a free personalized financial consultation. It's not going to cost anything. They're local. Sit down with them. Break bread. They're amazing. 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303. Or check out everything they do online at beaconcm.com. For Beacon Capital Management, this is the paid placement. All right. USS, United Structural Systems, is ready to help you. And for many of you out there, you've had some issues, obviously, because of the storms, and they can help you. If you've got storm damage, do not hesitate to call. They're going to come out. They're going to help you with any foundation issues, any issues where you've got water that you didn't, you're just still trying to get yourself and dig out of it, maybe even swim out of it. They're ready to help you. Another great thing about USS, right? They're doing something amazing. Middle Tennessee, Ashland City, they got 25 volunteers to help with Habitat for Humanity, which is awesome. They're going to be framing, installing roof trusses, building stability for family, which is amazing. That's what they do. They show up when it matters most. That's why we love USS. So if you or someone you know is dealing with foundation issues, especially with this weather that's come and gone and people are starting to figure out what the heck to do, call USS 615-488-7855 or visit USSTN.com. Gain peace of mind with United Structural Systems, foundation repair, and waterproofing services. This portion of the program is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms, no long-term contracts, license number 645. You know when that bumper starts? I think it's O'Reilly. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Somebody's arguing with us about, so if there's a guy that's a rapist and murderer in a crack house, Bell, and there's a kid smoking weed, do you take them all away? No, you take the rapist and the murderer away. Nobody cares about the kid smoking weed. That's more paperwork.
Oh, he said the people that have just crossed the border illegally should be focused on as much as the rapist and the murderer, which is just stupid.
No, the rapist and murderer need to be caught, period. And
we got limited resources to work on this problem. And you want the people that have done heinous things to be punted out of the country first. Then you go back and you worry about the guy who got a traffic ticket for reckless driving.
Yeah, and see, look, Minneapolis. We're sitting there talking about Minneapolis. Do I care about Minneapolis? Well, let's see. What's the goal? Is the goal to get as many people out of here as possible? Then you need to be in Texas. They have 2.1 million. You need to be in Florida. They have 1.6 million. Arizona, California. If that's the goal, is to get as many as possible. But you're not going to go into Florida. You're not going to go into Texas in any real way because, well, they're red states. Not going to do that. And Florida's an iffy thing, and Trump is already starting to feel it because he wants to get rid of, in particular, Cubans. And that is not sitting well with the Cuban population that feels like, hey, we have backed you across the board. So, but if the goal is to get out as many as possible, and is that really the goal anymore? It's so performative. And like Bell said, the limited resources is a big deal. Man, if you've only got, and we may be headed towards another somewhat shutdown.
This is probably the place where it's okay for government to overspend and go into deficit spending and add more debt because we got to get rid of the illegal aliens. So let's just run it up as high as we can while we do that. And how much of that? Again,
we're spread out, and there is a finite, not only finite resources money-wise, there's a finite resources of as many people that you can get to come work, who pass this test and interviews and whatnot to become part of ICE, DHS, and all that stuff. So there's a finite amount of people that we have applying for these gigs. So we're in a situation now where that's also a big issue, especially, considering, I don't even know. I've always said this. I think the left would be embarrassed if they knew how many people really came over here. And they, this is a problem, right? They would be. But what are you going to do? I mean, if we're serious about it, there's ways of going about handling this, but it's uncomfortable for the business owner. Because we go hard after the business. And I don't mean kind of hard. I mean hard after the business owner to the point where we're going to fine them, to the point where they're broke and bankrupt, and we'll put them out of business. And what happens? People will leave. They'd rather be broke in their own country than here. So are we serious about it, or is a lot of this just performative, which frustrates the hell out of me because I think a lot of it is performative. Very much so. And I would love to see us get this under control in a real way, get into the jails, get into the prisons, which in some places, Texas and a few other places, they're allowing these things. But you're not going to go, you don't have to go far. Go to McAllen, Texas. Just walk across the border. It's right there. They're everywhere if you want to. But are we going to? Well, people are picking fruit and they're doing this and we're not quite sure. And we don't know if we really want to get rid of the people that work in, the service industry. It's like, well, make up your mind. What is the end game? Depends on what the donors say. Oh, yeah. So meanwhile, the Epstein stuff is not going anywhere. I hope everybody, it's not going anywhere. And now you've got this insanity with, so one of the things that came out in these files or whatever was they put the announcement of his death was dated the day before he died, which feels a little odd. I don't know about you, but that feels a little odd. On top of that, there's a bunch of issues about they couldn't find the bed sheet or the rope that he hung himself allegedly with. You're like, wait, what? It was gone? Did it get up and walk out? Was it a snake? And most people who've seen the autopsy photos say, yeah, that's not a bed sheet. That isn't happening. That's not like a hanging kind of situation. That'd be more of a rope or strangulation. Like, oh. So, but don't worry, because we don't have that. We put it in a box and it's disappeared or something of that nature. And then Bell and I were laughing about the pictures of Epstein supposedly in Israel. Bell's all, did you throw a little fur on somebody's face, let their hair grow long? Kind of everybody looks the same.
Well, the only thing that looked even slightly like Epstein to me was the guy's eyes from the side, and he was wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, yeah, we need another conspiracy theory. We don't have enough of those going around.
Yeah. And then you've got Howard Lutnick, which is another issue that needs to be dealt with. So Howard Lutnick, of course, one of Trump's muckety-mucks, who said, I only met with him once, and then I found out I had nothing to do with him. Comes to find out, you had a lot to do with him, like a business, and you're hanging out with him, all after he'd been arrested. If you hung out with him before and you didn't know what happened, right, and you're hanging out with him, you're going to a dinner, you're not on the island, I don't think anybody really cares about that. Most people can make up their own minds. But if you're hanging out with him and you know exactly who he was, and you told everybody else, no, I got away from him as fast as possible, then come to find out that wasn't really true.
Part of the 3 million pages of newly released DOJ files show Lutnick and Epstein remained in contact well past 2005, as recently as 2018. One email with Epstein's schedule for May 1st, 2011, showing plans for drinks with Lutnick. And in December 2012, other documents showing Lutnick and his family plan to visit Epstein's private island. At the end of that month, the two both investing in the same business, their signatures seen on legal documents. Some of these interactions with Lutnick coming years after Epstein first pled guilty to sex crimes in 2008.
And that right there is a big deal. If you were hanging out with his ass after he had already pled guilty and you knew, how many of you out there listening right now in radio land, text land, have friends that have pled guilty to sex crimes and you're still hanging out with him, going out to dinner, giving him money? Probably not a lot. I would assume it's not a lot. And I want to know why hasn't he stepped down? You need to go.
Several lawmakers calling for Lutnick to step down, including Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, the architect of the law compelling the release of the files.
He's got a lot to answer for, but really he should make life easier on the president, frankly, and just resign.
Yeah, Thomas Massey.
Wait a minute. He just said something pro-Trump?
Thomas Massey?
Yeah.
Well, he said Lutnick should resign.
Well, yeah, but I've seen all over Twitter today that Massey's just a leftist in sheep's clothing. So
they're coming so hard for him.
That couldn't have been Massey because he said something pro-Trump.
So I got to listen to that again. Hold on a second.
Several lawmakers calling for Lutnick to step down, including Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, the architect of the law compelling the release of the files.
He's got a lot to answer for, but really he should make life easier on the president, frankly, and just resign.
I agree. He said he should make life easier on the president because Thomas makes life harder on the president. They want him out so bad. Here's the thing, and I was talking to my buddy who is he is a Republican strategist, mostly in states, Arizona, a few other states where they go, and he state level races and some Congress people. And we were talking about this we were texting back and forth, and I said, man, if I'm Trump, I don't go after Massey. He's like, why not? I go, I'll tell you why. You go after Massey a whole bunch, and you beat him in the primaries. You know what I do if I'm him? I run as an independent. Now I'm going to take half, if not more, of the people that you're going to get in the primaries with me, more in the general. I may have a chance of still winning, but if I don't, your guy's not going to, and the Democrat will. He's like, damn. I know. I don't know if Massey will do that, but he could. 91%. What should you vote with the president? 91%. Is that bad? Marjorie Trader Green voted with him like 99% of the time. Where's the level of you better do all of this or else? That's what I want to know. And then I get a lot of, he's a rhino. He's the only one who cares about the debt.
He's one of the few that actually care about the Constitution.
He's the only one I know that's like, hey, you know what? We're spending a lot of money. Maybe we shouldn't spend so much.
No, that's okay. As long as it's the things we like, we can spin us into oblivion.
Yeah. But he is right. If I'm Trump, man, I go to Lutnick and go, dude, you got to go. You got to go. We can't have this. We got enough crap. We don't need this hanging around our heads all day. And you doing this right here, you being in this position where first of all, you've been caught on podcasts talking about how you didn't have anything to do with them. Then you found out you did. It wasn't even you saw each other in passing. Is it like you had dealings together? That's a different story. That is. Which makes me look at him and say, you're a scumbag. Right? You're a scumbag. I'm sorry. I mean, that guy is that is vile and reprehensible. What Epstein did, we all know, is the worst. If you didn't know about it and you hung out with him and you're like, oh, I'm never going to hang out with you again, and you don't, that's fine. But if you did go, oh, yeah, he was convicted, and, oh, but I'm still going to hang out with you, that's where I think, it's always about when did you find out, what did you know, and why did you still hang out with him? Why did you do it?
Well, I wasn't enabling his pedophilia. I just wanted to do some business with him. Nice.
I wasn't enabling it. I'm thinking, yeah.
You're approving of it by hanging out with the scumbag.
Yeah, totally. I think so. And I would like to know, because the women are pissed. Because why? Simple. Their names are out there in a lot of places. They had nude pictures out there. None of our people who are everywhere, all of this, are in any kind of trouble. Andrew now, apparently, when he was the trade attaché, the prince formerly known as Prince Andrew, talked to Jeffrey Epstein about trade deals, so he could be in serious trouble. And now Keir Starmer may be in trouble to the point where he may not be able to hang on much past the next couple days before there's going to be he's going to have to resign. That's how ugly it is over there.
Is he the conservative or the?
He's the liberal.
Liberal.
Yeah. So, but nobody here, by the way, nobody here whatsoever is in any kind of trouble or issue. Trust us, our FBI's on it. Snap, FBI, by the way. Snap. Good God.
Kash Patel, letting you down when you're least expected.
Yeah, Pam Bondi, the worst? I'd say so. If you're missing the show, shame when you grab the podcast. It is the Chad Metz Show, Super Talk 99.7. All right, guys, talk to you about Omaha Steaks. I got the presidential sale going on, and just for you, delicious, amazing protein. So much amazing protein. Right to you, 50% off right now. We're talking steaks, the best around. We're talking burgers, delicious pork chops, chicken breasts, seafood, you name it. They got all of the best kind of protein. And to celebrate our great presidents, 50% off right now. There's the beauty of I will tell you, I like meat. I do. I like protein. Gives me tons of energy. And you know the difference when you go buy something, you're like, and then you buy something, you're like, oh, this is otherworldly. That's what you get with Omaha Steaks, otherworldly. The fillets wrapped in bacon, the burgers that don't shrink to the size of a hockey puck from the size of a plate. That's what you get with this. So what I want you to do, 100% money-back guarantee. Celebrate President's Day, 50% off site-wide. But when you use my code Benson, on checkout, you get an extra $35 off. What? So hurry. Enjoy the 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Omahasteaks.com. Use my code Benson to get extra $35 when you check out. Omahasteaks.com, code Benson.
Jeffrey Epstein continuing to make news on Capitol Hill 6.5 years after his death. We'll tell you what's going on with the latest. And apparently, Banging on a plastic bucket in downtown Nashville can get you arrested. We'll have a story as to what that's all about coming up at 2 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
No, I'm not going to bang on any buckets. I'll tell you that right now, Jay.
Yeah, you still come across as a bucket banger, though, Chad.
Hey, you are a baseball fan, am I correct?
Yes, this is true.
How excited are you for baseball?
Oh, yeah, man. Pitchers and catchers report this week.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, in Florida and Arizona for Major League Baseball.
How many games do you think the Dodgers are going to win?
Oh, goodness. Well, if they stay healthy, I think it'll be over 100.
Yeah. I saw, who was it the other day talking about before Manfredi leaves in 29, that he will announce that Nashville's going to get a major league team. That's what he thinks.
I think that's possible.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been to the triple. Is it triple or double A? We got a triple A team, right?
Yes, they're well. At last report, they were still triple A for the Brewers.
I've not been, and minor league baseball is awesome.
Yep, First Horizon Park. They do a nice job here. Of course, I used to go to Old Greer Stadium way back when here in Nashville. But yeah, First Horizon's very nice.
I could easily see them putting up, a baseball stadium here. Absolutely. Be great. Major League Baseball is fun to go to. Not great to. I love the playoffs, and I love, I do. My dad played. He was in the Cardinals organization for years when I was a kid, and had a cup of coffee. But I didn't play growing up. But I was thinking, man, yeah, we're about ready for that. We got a hockey team, right? We don't have a basketball team. We almost got a WNBA team. What?
Well, we got one in Memphis.
Yeah, we got one in Memphis.
Right.
And we've got an NFL team, kind of.
Yes.
And but we're gonna probably have a Super Bowl in the next few years too. But I could see a Major League Baseball team coming here.
Absolutely. Even though Cincinnati and Atlanta markets are not crazy about the prospect, but yeah, I still agree. I think we are primed for that.
Yeah, I think there, and I could see maybe, they're talking about who else could it be? Portland, maybe? Oregon?
Yeah, and they've been talking about Virginia for years.
Yes.
You know?
So
yeah, and Charlotte.
Charlotte, I could see. I wonder, that's probably what, like, Cincinnati and the Braves would rather have them in Charlotte.
True.
But
yeah,
this place is prime with the growth for a team. And because you have so many people from all over, you'd have a built-in fan base for a lot of different things. And it's always, the question is going to be, are you going to get, who's the most disgruntled team that doesn't get something? Or are we going to get a actual franchise from the ground floor?
Yeah, expansion or moving from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a possibility. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But a lot of people think that that's going to happen. That we will get a team before he retires, which is in 29, which is 3 years. So could happen. All right, coming up, hour number 3 of the program. A lot of stuff to get to. Some of your text messages. Bad Bunny. Some of you guys trying to figure out what the Bad Bunny thing is. He's not coming to get you, right? You guys get that? He isn't coming to get you. You're going to be fine.
He's very busy at home counting his money.
Counting all of his money. He has a lot of money. Oh, mucho dinero. Oh! Somebody's like, do you speak Spanish? I used to speak really decent Spanish because my grandmother and grandfather. So I spoke good Spanish, but then he didn't want us to learn Spanish. My grandfather, we always yelled at him. Really? Really?
Did you yell at him in Spanish?
No, because most of the words we knew were dirty, and he would yell at me. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 2 p.m. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. We'll get a full forecast for you here shortly. A quick traffic note, Old Hickory Boulevard westbound between Graycroft Avenue and Port Drive up in Madison. It is closed there due to a very serious crash. Again, that is Old Hickory Boulevard westbound between Graycroft and Port Drive. This is near I-65, so just a traffic note. On to the news now. Ghislaine Maxwell, the alleged co-conspirator of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, exercised her Fifth Amendment rights at a closed-door deposition in front of the House Oversight Committee today. She appeared virtually and declined to directly answer any questions. This as lawmakers are getting access to the unredacted Epstein files. We hear now from ABC's Jay O'Brien.
It's very much unclear what they disclose about what they saw. We do know that they are going to say something. They have said as much. And we do know that they have various documents that they are taking a look at. Even Thomas Massey went to X over the weekend and posted what documents should he look at, and was trying to crowdsource essentially exactly what he should zero in on.
Authorities in Rhode Island, they're sharing the chaotic moments following that deadly December shooting at Brown University by providing a look at the body cam footage. They were warned, of course, by the responding officers to that incident. We hear from ABC's Peter Haralambous.
All of this happening as officers were concerned about friendly fire and engaging in potential miscommunication where they thought they might have the suspect before realizing they don't actually have the right guy. All of this, I think, taken together kind of explains why in those immediate moments officers couldn't identify the suspect and why he was able to eventually escape and go on a week-long manhunt throughout the Northeast.
Now, back here in Music City, a 19-year-old was charged with a felony after playing a bucket drum in downtown Nashville on Sunday. News 2's Peyton Kennedy has more.
Metro Police say they've been called to the corner of 5th and Broadway at least 8 times so far this year. 4 people playing these bucket drums and obstructing the sidewalk. Officers say they have given multiple warnings, and given that history, 2 individuals were arrested Sunday for obstructing the passageway. While writing the arrest report, police say 19-year-old Betoy Deuce became irate, verbally threatening an officer. Deuce is also now charged with a felony for retaliation for past action. His bond is set at about $8,000.
That is the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Hey, did you ever
This portion of the Chad Benson Show is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms and Long-Term Contracts, license number 645. A lot of you chiming in on all kinds of stuff. Isn't it weird? Like we're arguing over halftime shows. What'd you think of, the Bad Bunny? Thought it was good. He's an ally of the LGBTQ. Let me tell you something about the Latin community. Machismo, right? Being gay in the Latin community is not a simple thing. You have a lot of people who marry, right? They have kids, and they're gay. A lot of that. You have a lot of the machismo is very real. It's interesting. The whole, arguing over him and what did he do? What did he say? And, we're bringing rock stars up from modern society. Well, their words can be bad. Yeah, they can be, right? Go look at Kid Rock's words. Go look at it. All of them have some issues. It's the reality of it. It is. So
the music I listen to doesn't have at least a 1 to 10 ratio of bad words to good. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, I listen to yacht rock, so that's all I know. They don't have a lot of that in yacht rock.
Yeah, I don't remember Stevie
Nicks?
Stevie Nicks ever throwing some F-bombs into her songs.
No, they didn't. But, I'm a huge punker, right? I love punk. I love punk rock. Sex Pistols, right? They had a lot of stuff in there like, The Damned, The Cramps, right? The Ramones. You can do an entire Ramone. We could do an entire Ramone concert in 23 minutes. They could have played their entire catalog yesterday at halftime. Do you remember that?
Wait a minute, isn't Joey dead?
Yeah, I think there's only one left.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when, who's the crazy guy with the bad wigs? The Wall of Sound. What's his name?
Phil Spector.
Phil Spector held him hostage because he did one of their albums, and he made him play their concert in there. My buddy was on the air, and he goes, they played their entire album set, 12 minutes. Yeah, that's how crazy Phil was.
Speed up the tempo. We need to get out of here.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Was this before he murdered that chick?
Yeah, this is before. Wow. There was a lot of crazy. That guy was nuts. That guy was so crazy. His wigs, all those wigs were spectacular. So spectacular. So yesterday, Super Bowl, we got a winner. I told you what was going to happen. I told you Seattle's defense too good.
Seattle reigns above them all in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
He deserved that bat. What an incredible job he's done.
What a shot. Take it all in.
It was ugly. Do you think those guys care? No, they don't. They're loving every second of it. They're partying today, right? Enjoying themselves. You got a couple of the guys going to Disneyland. And they go to Disneyland, if I'm correct, I think they go there straight, like they're gone. So Kenneth Walker III, MVP, and the quarterback, boom, gone. Let's do it. We're going to Disneyland, going to do their thing, celebrate it. Woo. But
Kenneth Walker is from Tennessee, by the way.
Is he?
Yes, he is from Arlington, Tennessee, which is near Memphis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you hear
Shelby County?
Did you hear Jay in today because Ken partied too hard yesterday?
Correct.
Did you hear that his dad goes to all the games, but he won't go into
He won't go into the, he's got some phobia of crowds, which, hey, I can get.
But he went yesterday. It's the first time he'd ever seen him play in the NFL.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
That is, well, if you're going to do it, make it that game. And he was dominant in that game.
Yeah, he's certainly a good luck charm in a number of ways, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran the ball, even caught it a couple times, because that's one of the things he talked about. He's great at running, not good at catching.
Yeah, his reception prowess leaves a lot to be desired. But I found it interesting how the guy would just kind of stop and wait on the, on the holes to open up, and then he would, kick it into another gear.
That I always find fascinating when it's always 3 yards in a cloud of dust, where they hand the ball, the guy runs as fast as he can, into a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, to the backs of his own offensive lineman.
Who was the Pittsburgh Steeler guy that started all that years ago, where they'd hand the ball to him and he'd take one step and he just kind of look around and then he'd take off? And that's what this guy does. He takes one step and he slowly walks and then he, boom, he was gone.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Defense was awesome. They're a good team, and they're young, and they got very nice contracts, meaning they don't have to pay $70 million to like Deshaun Watson, which is just insane, or whatever next year that crazy Dak Prescott's going to get, where it's 20-some% of his contract. So good. That was a good game. It was. I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't think they had it in them to. They didn't have anything going for them as far as their line. That offensive line sucked. We could have got through their guys and probably had a chance at tackling old Drake May. Then, of course, the halftime show began and the controversy.
Hey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Hey, muchas novias. Hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
Oh, my God.
Hey, muchas novias. Hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Hey, me la voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP.
He had Jessica Alba there. She's nice.
He doesn't really sing. He just kind of...
It's reggaeton.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Well, he's considered a rapper.
Right, yeah.
Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas, United States, Canadá, and my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico.
So yeah, it's Latin trap or reggaeton. So it's kind of like that fast talking kind of rap, not rap, and whatnot.
Well, again, I'm totally ignorant of this style of music. I'm the first to admit. But I mean, what makes this guy stand out? It seems like anybody that speaks the language that would be able to do something similar. I mean, I'm kind of curious as to why he has just rocketed like he has.
He has got something that, so for years, my buddy's been just all the time, my buddy Pablito, dude, it's my favorite artist in the world. My favorite artist is Bad Bunny. I mean, like, loves Bad Bunny. He would sing some of the stuff. It's his connection to the Latin culture, where a lot of other people want to cross over and do English, and he can sing in English. His connection to the Latin culture is huge, and he sticks with that. He loves America, and I love how he does it. He does. He's frustrated with a lot of stuff. Okay, you know what? That's your right. Name an artist that isn't frustrated at some point in time. But he's got such a connection with the Latin artists, and he came from Puerto Rico, and he came to America, but he wasn't afraid to go to Europe. He wasn't afraid to go to South America in big ways, and he was really the first one to take reggaeton in a much bigger way. Because a couple of the other artists, like Daddy Yankee and stuff that have had reggaeton hits, they've done it with other artists who are American, and he didn't, and that's why he's so big, and he's like ridiculous. He's the biggest streamer on the planet when it comes to music. We're talking about Spotify. What's he get? 92 million listens a day? I don't get that. And that's just Spotify.
Yeah, you've got Google.
You got Amazon?
Google Music.
Yeah,
you have Amazon Music.
Yeah, YouTube Music.
I mean,
Apple.
It's insane. It is insane. So I think Bad Bunny sucks. Needs to keep his music in his country. He's an American. It's Puerto Rico.
For those of you that don't know, Puerto Rico is considered a United States protected territory. So they actually have non-voting members in Congress.
Yeah.
So he's American.
Yep. So, if it makes people uncomfortable, it is what it is. So he is he's an interesting character. It is, he came out, he did his thing, whatever. Watched some of that. I watched some of the other one. That was okay too. And we move on. We don't need to make everything political. Well, we do, because we live in a time where it's just easy to fight over stuff that doesn't matter. Not the debt. We don't fight over the debt. We don't care. That's not fun.
Green Day is much more anti-Trump than Bad Bunny is.
Yeah.
But nobody bitched about him because they're three white guys.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. They like Green Day. And I was telling Belle, I want my punk rockers to be full of hate and anger for whoever's running the country, because that's part of being the punk rockers. Now, the weird thing is they're all in their like 40s and 50s, which is also kind of weird, because normally I want my punk rockers kind of like the Sex Pistols.
20s, early 20s.
You know?
Shooting up heroin and murdering their girlfriends.
You know, Johnny Rotten and the likes. Some of them didn't go on, as we all know. But it was what it was. Like it, hate it. Again, it wasn't for us. See, that's the thing. Everybody's trying to make this, well, it's about, it wasn't. The audience is different. It wasn't for you and I. It was for a younger audience, which is what they're always trying to get. Younger. You know why? We don't care anymore. We're not in their demo. We're not. You and I aren't in their demo. Belle's not in their demo. Jay's not in their demo. Ken's not in their demo. Ken loves, he was listening the other day. I saw him on his TikTok, listening to Megadeth. Right? That's that demo. There's our demo right there. Our band. I joke about like all that we do One Hit Wonder Wednesdays. All the songs that we knew growing up, except for Belle, who picks just crazy ass weird songs.
Maybe I was growing up listening to a more diverse line of music than you were.
Maybe you were. Maybe you weren't. I don't know. Maybe you listen to weird music. But see, here's a break. Did you see what he said? Did you see the music he sang? Let me ask you this. Belle, did we do a One Hit Wonder? Who was the one? David Geddes?
David Geddes, yeah.
David Geddes. What was that about?
It was about a young couple, teenagers that were seeing each other. The girl's father didn't like it. He was going to kill the guy, and he went over to their house, to the girl's house, and in the middle of the argument, he goes to shoot him, and she jumps in front of the bullet, and he kills his own daughter.
Yeah. Among other things. You also had, what was the other one where the guy was in love with his daughter?
What?
Wasn't it? Yeah, these are the weird stuff that he comes up. Let me tell you about this. It's all weird. It's all Lola. It's all like he finds weird, crazy songs. All of these songs are full of crazy things back in the day. How many songs do we sing? She was only 15. You know.
Yeah. Well, I also remember the Kinks. Lola was about a transvestite.
Yeah. Oh no, was it? But Chad, he wears women's clothing. So what? Have you ever seen I Want to Break Free? Go see that video.
They all four wear women's clothing.
Bowie was women's clothing all the time. I bet a lot of you like Bowie.
Bowie influenced women's clothing's fashions and how they actually went to market.
So let's just hold our outrage over this, okay? I thought both of them were fine. I was actually surprised at how good the Turning Point one was. They all sounded pretty good, except for the Bomb to the Bomb didn't come off very well because he was lip syncing.
You know, I didn't watch either one. And you know why?
Why?
Because I don't have to.
Yeah. Well, that's the other side of it. Oh, and the other thing is, too, I'm going to tell you guys this little story. I tell Belle Friday, hey, Belle, we're going to have a little party. Why don't you guys come on over and hang out? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I'm sure you won't text me. Text him. Belle, game kicks off at like 5:45. Why don't you cruise over at like 5, 4:30, whatever. Yeah, that'd be great. We're out buying food, all kinds of snacks, because Belle's coming. We're in line. I turn to my wife. I go, I have a feeling he's totally going to bail. And he did. So there you go. So now I have to go. I'm going to have chicken wings again tonight.
Because I bailed. Why?
Why did you bail?
Because I wasn't feeling good.
Oh, is that the excuse you're giving us?
Very nauseous.
Very nauseous. Very nauseous. Nauseous Belle. That's his new name. All right, coming up. We got a lot of fun stuff still to talk to, some wacky stuff. What were the numbers yesterday? How many people are out of work today? That number is massive. We'll talk a bit about that.
No, it's just one.
Well, just one here.
Oh,
but downstairs, there's a few missing as well.
Whoops.
And the one today, right? Mason wasn't here either. I wonder where you are. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Relief Factor is awesome. Relief Factor. So I have lots of listeners who for the years, should I try it, should I not? This lady named Sandra, she tries it. She's listened to my show for a very long time when I first started out in Sacramento and stuff. And she's like, I didn't know, so I tried it. Within 2 weeks, she said, so much of the pain that was just little aches and pains, especially in her muscles and in her back. The just inflammation had subsided. She feels 1,000 times better. It works, people. If you worry about, overexerting yourself and your muscles are sore and they hurt and just you feel like you just don't have anything to give at the end of the day, you try Relief Factor and you watch what happens. It is going to help you. It's got resveratrol, omega-3 fatty acids, all this stuff, but it really just focuses on the pathways where there's inflammation, and it's great. You can try right now. It's a 3-week quick start. You're going to feel the difference, and you could be like a lot of these other listeners who said, I tried it. If you're skeptical, I get it. You won't be after you try it. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. 800, the number 4-RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Unredacted documents of the Epstein files have been released and will have some congressional reaction. Also, the resurgence of a disease once considered eliminated has healthcare providers rather concerned. We'll have those stories and more coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yay, measles are back. The measles are back.
I saw a list of how big this epidemic's become. It's almost 0.7 of the country.
Yeah. But it was zero. It used to be considered eradicated. It's no longer considered eradicated here in the U.S. We're doing well. Plague enthusiasts everywhere. Rejoice.
We're about due for a new pandemic.
The measles?
Why not? It'd be more fun than COVID was.
Yeah, that's true. My kids have their measles shots. Oh, but why? Because isn't it weird? Before COVID, it was the crunchy granola moms, right, that were out there. It's like, oh my God, if you take it, your kid's going to get autism. We don't do it because we're very creamy and granola, right?
You consider or Donnie Wahlberg's wife to be crunchy granola?
Well, yeah, she was the one, right? She was the one that was leading the charge for the autism thing.
What was her damn name? I can never remember.
Boobs McGee?
Something like that.
What's her name? Now I need to know. Come on, people. Come on the text line. Who is Mark Wahlberg's wife? We forgot.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg. What is it? God, what's her name? Now I need to know.
Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy. That's right. Yeah, because it was the crunchy granolas were out there, but she was, it was the lefties that were always about, well, we're not going to do this anymore because we don't know what's in it, and kids are all getting autism, and you're like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I'm not a Blake enthusiast.
Remember how the left was like, I'm not taking any drug that's developed under Trump.
Yeah.
And then the COVID vaccine comes out and it's like, you better take this or you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what happened? Trump made it. I'm not taking it.
Because it's all performative. I always said this about the shot. The problem was they called it a vaccine. If you would have said, look, it's like a flu shot, right? You may have to get it, every couple of years. That's all it is. This thing will change, just like the flu. Eventually, we're going to build up such an immunity to it that it's going to be fine, and we're all going to move on with ourselves. That's what they should have said, but they didn't.
Well, and on top of that, they knew precisely the demographics that were most at risk, and they just ignored that information like it was unimportant.
Because it hurts somebody's feelings. It does. You come out and you say, hey, people that are really big, people that smoke and drink and are unhealthy, people that are old, people with compromised immune systems, you guys are at risk. Everybody else, there is a very small percent that it's going to affect, and it's horrible. But for the rest of us, we can build up our herd immunity.
If you were young and healthy, you could get it and sometimes not even notice.
Yeah. I got it the first time, and I was sick for 2 days. And so this is how. So I take my son home to San Diego. Now, I've been telling so I have a buddy that's actually in Wuhan that has has several distribution things in Wuhan. He's there. He and I would talk, and he said, dude, and this is like November, December. He's like, there's nobody out. So what? And he would send me pictures. He's like, this place is as big as Chicago. There's nobody on the streets. I'm like, weird, right? And you're like, eh. And he says, something's happening here. Something's happening. Then they told him he had to leave, so he left. And I kept telling everybody on my local show, something's coming, something's coming. You guys don't believe me. Something's coming. You guys don't believe me. And then when it showed up, that like it was here, I had went to San Diego, took my son home to San Diego, and we went to a Chinese New Year festival. And both of us were sick for like 2 or 3 days because several people had just flown in, and we're like, it's no big deal. And I was sick for a couple of days, and that was it, But I will tell you, for a day and a half, I slept.
Remember, it definitely did not come from a lab.
No, it didn't. You can't say, come on. Somebody ate a pangolin or a penguin or starfish or whatever they got you. Fox, monkey, dog. Not a fox, monkey. Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig.
Somebody ate man, bear, pig. Oh, all right. Coming up, we got Jay's news in for Ken today. Ken's a quitter for the day. He's got some interesting stuff about that whole Epstein stuff. And now they get to look at the unredacted portion of the program, all these folks, and we'll see what they say about that. We'll talk about that, a bunch of other stuff. Got a lot of text messages as well. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997.
Good afternoon. It's 2:30. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. We'll get you a weather forecast here shortly. We still wish to let you know a quick traffic note. This is Old Hickory Boulevard, just near I-65 westbound between Graycroft Avenue and Port Drive. It's closed there due to a rather severe crash. Keep in mind, we'll start with the regular traffic reports in the 3 o'clock hour. The first member of Congress to review unredacted documents from the Epstein files has spoken to reporters about what he's seen today. Here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin says he was able to sit at one of 4 Justice Department computers that administration officials have set up for members of Congress to review the raw, uncensored documents.
I saw the names of lots of people who were redacted for mysterious or baffling or inscrutable reasons.
Raskin says he wasn't allowed any staff or electronic devices, and he only had time to review about 30 to 40 of the files.
This is going to be an extremely time-consuming and painstaking process.
While measles was declared eliminated in the U.S. About a quarter of a century ago, a resurgence is now somewhat on the rise. Health officials blame the record-breaking numbers for people not getting vaccines anymore. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
The CDC says 20 states have reported cases, from California and Oregon to Virginia and Florida, where at least 2 universities have reported cases. One of the hardest hit states, South Carolina, where at least 900 people have been infected since the outbreak started in October. Unvaccinated children make up the vast majority of cases, according to South Carolina state data. More than 80% had not received the MMR vaccine. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Nashville Electric Services, or of course NES, they're taking, according to them, significant steps to support its customers and address their winter storm response amid considerable outrage from the community. They called a special board meeting today, and it began with NES board chair Ann Davis announcing the utility company will conduct an independent review on winter storm response. The review will, they stress, be independent and investigate everybody from the CEO down to the folks on the ground, the utility workers. Additionally, Davis said it will be shared upon completion as the board works on an aggressive timeline, but they have not set a date for that timeline. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Today, temperatures in the 60s this afternoon under plenty of sunshine. Tonight, we're down to the 40s for the overnight low. Tomorrow, increasing clouds quickly throughout the day. Temperatures, though, near, if not into the 70s. Tomorrow night into early Wednesday, a couple of rain showers come through. Wednesday is a cooler day. We're back in the 50s. We'll stay in the 50s the rest of our week. Dry Thursday. Rain moves in very late in the day Friday. Then more scattered showers coming for the week.
The Wellness Institute of Nashville, they, being Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, they're my doctors. They should be yours as well. Right now, 2026 special, 47% off non-surgical decompression for the new year. And they've got their new machine, the new Hydro Wave machine. Now, this is the only place in Tennessee that has it. Okay, so you go somewhere else, they don't got it. You know who does? Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley. And so this is what it does. It stimulates your own stem cells, okay, in your body, regenerates tissue to grow new blood vessels for a healing process called angiogenesis. They are the best around. And if you want the best around, coupled with the best and newest technology around, they deliver it to you time and time again. So start the new year off by healing you, and do it with my friends over at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. All right, go to painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Take advantage of their 2026 special, 47% off non-surgical decompression for the new year. 615-246-5009. All right, guys, talk to my friends over at Bulwark Capital Management. I'll talk to you about giving you something that is awesome. It is called a Know Your Risk Portfolio Review. They'll walk you through your portfolio, see what's going on there. Are you being charged too much? Are you having extra fees taken out? And they give you a breakdown of where you are. And we'll talk to you about, hey, how they can protect you, what it is they do that's so much different than so many other people out there who just throw your 401k, your retirement into something, your investments, and hey, it's in a few things and away they go. They look at things on a global nature. That's what I love about Bulwark. So this is what I want you to do. Sign up today. It's absolutely free. It's called a Know Your Risk Portfolio Review. You can go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's KNOWRiskPodcast.com to sign up for Bulwark Capital Management's Know Your Risk Portfolio Review. Investment advisory service offered through Trick Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Trick 26351. Bow! Yeah. Sports of the program is brought to you by NCA National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. Speaking of stuff, we're going to be curling this week. You heard Chris there earlier. So come on out. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be doing our show out at T-Line. But also, this month, Stake of the Union. Look at that. So that's us, Super Talk 99.7. Stake of the Union. We're going to watch President Trump's State of the Union address Tuesday, February 24th at Legend Steakhouse in Smyrna. Come break bread with us. We're going to have all kinds of fun. Matt, right, broadcasting live. We're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Chris Hand's going to be there. Right, we're all going to be there. And friends, leading up to the address for the nation, the United States Capitol. Only 100 tickets. Okay, so only 100 tickets available. So if you want to come out and shout at me, now is your chance to do it. Okay, this includes 9-ounce Legend sirloin, 2-side salad bar, strawberry cake, non-alcoholic beverage or choice of, and tax gratuity, all for $100. Get yours now. If you got any questions, go to 997WTN.com. Stake of the Union, man. I'm going to be out there.
Those are usually pretty fun.
They are. So you can come yell at me if you wanted to. And then we're going to sign, oh, my God, we get along. That's really weird. We believe in, like, almost a lot of the same things, yeah.
And we both like steak.
We both like steak. There's nothing wrong with that. We both like meat. Eating meat. So feel free to cruise on out. It's a good thing. Come out and come see us at T-Line. So I just saw that tomorrow in the mixed, in curling, we take on Sweden in the semifinals. What? We're going to be bringing home the gold in curling. So that big curling rock, you know, the big rock they throw?
Yeah.
One place on Earth.
Yeah, I watched a video about
in Scotland, just off the coast of Scotland.
Yeah, it's just a little island.
Yeah, there's nothing else there but sheep.
That's the only place to get the rock that they use.
The granite, they use special Scottish granite to hoobly-doobly. I don't know if that's what it's called. Matt and I are going to be fun. I'm interested to see. Ken's a little fella, so Ken might do all right.
You know what a stone cost each?
How much?
$600.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And they're the only ones who can do it.
But they need 16 for a team.
Oh, damn. Damn. That's
so
crazy.
Imagine that investment.
That is, yeah. They're heavy, right? What did we say last week? They're like 20 to 40 pounds, something like that, 22 to like 40 pounds?
Something like that, yeah.
And so I have no idea the rules. I just like when they shout, rah, rah, left, right. I don't know, that way.
I mean, not only is there only one place to get that granite, there's only one company that makes them.
That's what we would call a monopoly if a lot of people purchase those things. But there's probably not a lot of purchasing going on here.
I mean, you're not buying them for anything else.
No, I mean, you're not. I mean, it's not like...
It's like, you may get a basketball because you got a hoop at home and you want to play in the driveway with your kids or something, but nobody's doing that with a curling stone.
No, nobody is doing that with a curling stone. So this will be fun, though, to watch and to get down and to do the little I'm excited. So come on out. And they have the little bowling.
$100 says you break a hip.
No. I'm going to be fine with the sweeping. I'll do the first couple times when you go and you let it go. I think I'll be okay, and I'm going to throw it way too hard. So be prepared. But then I'm going to be like, look, I can't get up anymore. So you guys are going to have somebody else do this for us. So if you guys come out, we're going to pick teams. I think Matt and I are going to try to team it up against each other. And we'll see how this goes. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. So head on out and check us out. T-Line, that is Thursday. We'll be out there hanging out. A lot of you chiming in on all kinds of stuff on the big old text line. The Bad Bunny thing is funny. The hatred of Bad Bunny. But the other stuff about Green Day. Yeah, Green Day is way more anti-Trump. And then people like Chad, if you're punk rock, yeah, I didn't say the Butthole Surfers, even though they're hilarious. They were okay. I was a bigger fan of the Dead Kennedys.
Oh, Jello is just
Jello Biafra
genius.
is awesome. Jello Biafra. There's a Holiday in Cambodia is one of the great songs.
And Too Drunk to something I can't say.
Too Drunk to is what they're. I love the Vandals, another great punk band. That guy was my substitute teacher when I was a kid, the drummer for the Vandals.
Really?
Yeah. Drummer for the Vandals was my substitute teacher. And one of the surfers thought, dude, are you in ABBA? Oh, I love stupid people. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm watching the Olympics. Why is everybody saying they're the woke Olympics now? I have not paid attention to. Is it because people are protesting the fact that we have ice over there? Why do we have ice over there? Why? Is it because they boo every time that J.D. Vance comes on? They boo him? I don't know. He's there. You know what I watched? So we remember Friday we were talking about it. So they did the opening ceremonies in two places. And the one place where you'd see only one flag and one person, it's because that right there is where that person may be the only skier for them. So everybody else was at the San Siro, and there's like, all right, we're going to have one person at this place. So, and it was, it's interesting. I guarantee none of your listeners give two about the Olympics. I think you'd be surprised. Everybody always says that, right? Just like the halftime show. Then 150 million people watching. You're like, well, I guess that wasn't really true.
And when you say none, you're kind of putting yourself in a losing situation because that's not going to be correct no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, yeah, none. Not one person. Several of you said, I'm watching the ice skating. I watched the Quad God. He helped us win the, I didn't even know we had a team, like, skating event. And they call him the Quad God because he's the only guy that can do 4 spins. And then he does a flip, which is awesome.
And what was the girl's name that won the medal in skiing?
Breezy Johnson. Breezy. Lindsay was the one who crashed.
Did she win a gold?
She won a gold, yeah. Okay. So the gold count here, I don't know. Last I checked, we were at 2. Gold count. Let's take a look here. The gold count is for us. I think we have 2 so far. Long way to go. And remember, golds count for the most. So, and Italy's doing really well. Italy's got 9 total. We have 2. We just have 2 gold medals. That's it. Italy's got but our big stuff is coming later. So we'll see how that goes. Our big stuff is going to be coming later on in the next several days. But you know what? We do well in the Summer Olympics. And I'm always curious, too, to see what the effect is of having home field, home ice advantage. Because you notice that many of these countries suck everywhere else, but when they have it at their home, they get a ton of medals.
Which is probably why Italy's doing so well.
Probably. And they do a lot of skiing, which I didn't realize. I know they do a lot of skiing, but there's a lot of other stuff I didn't realize that they do.
They all love the mob.
Yeah. Korea's got 2 medals. Bulgaria's got a medal.
Does Estonia?
Estonia does not have a medal.
Oh,
no.
Man. Now I'm sad.
China's got 2. China's got 2 because that's China. That's what they do. They get medals. The Epstein stuff, I saw, what's his name? Raskin. He's such a clown. He is such a clown. Let's see what he had to say here. Jamie Raskin, the clown, talking about he saw the unredacted.
What did you see specific to President Trump or President Clinton, and were there specific redactions to them?
Well, I just gave an example of one redaction related to President Trump. I did not see any redactions related to President Clinton.
There you go. So no redactions to Clinton, which they're coming in to speak anyways.
Well, it's kind of been intimated that if you say anything about Bill. Hillary's going to get her
Hillary,
her little army up, and you'll disappear.
I think Hillary's running. When do you
kidding.
think they turn on her?
Oh, I think they already have. They're just doing a really good job of keeping it out of the news.
No, the army turns on her. It always happens that way, right? Like the coup comes. Eventually, they have enough of killing regular people that did nothing.
Hillary?
Yeah. The joke about Hillary is, if you mess with the Clintons, next thing you know, you leave a suicide note and you shoot yourself 9 times.
I think she probably has her private security force for that.
I would assume so. I would assume. And I want to see, she wants to do that live and in front of the cameras, the whole testifying. And they don't want her to because she wants to take everybody down she can. She would unleash everything she could about everything. Her whole thing is, if I'm going down, we're all going. I'm going to burn the bridges. I'm going to sink the boats, right? I am going to light the villages on fire.
I will steer the Titanic into the iceberg.
Into it, right? We're all going down. And my thought is, okay, I'm here for it. Let's do it. Right? Let's do it. Would you not want to see that? I would. And people ask me, what if Trump's on there? Well, then he's on there. So what? Then he has to go. It's that simple. And by that, I mean,
we're going to give him a pass for if he was in there, which I don't know if he is or not in terms of anything, heinous. But if he was in the Epstein files and was implicated in pedophilia, don't tell me you're going to defend that, because I'm going to be offended by that.
Yeah, I would absolutely be offended. He must go, just like everybody else who's on there.
But we don't know.
We don't know
fully
any of that
yet
stuff.
Who is?
Because they hide it. The only person we know who's done anything wrong is Lord Pretend. It used to be Prince Andrew, then he was Lord Mountainbottom. Now he just sucks, right? And now they're looking at him. I think he gave away trade secrets. So they're thinking about bringing him over here to potentially, they want to grill him. And now they're worried. Now they're thinking he gave away trade secrets when he was the trade attaché for Great Britain. And he gave them to Epstein. So now what? Well, why is he the only one? And Keir Starmer's probably going to be out by the end of the week because of his ridiculousness in pointing that idiot to be the U.S. ambassador here from Great Britain, who already had tons of dealings with Epstein. And then when this stuff came out, he had so many more and he had lied about. So, yeah, why is it only them? You don't think there's others? Yes. Let's find them. Want them out there. They should have justice. These people should have justice. And if you don't want justice because you feel it may hurt your side, they all deserve to burn for what they did. Okay? They all do. I think everybody can agrees with pedos need to pay the price.
Feet first into the wood chipper.
Feet first. Yeah, we want to watch the wood chipper eat you like lions used to. All right, coming up, I saw Matt. He's wandering around here. And Jackson. Talk to them. What's coming up next? That's what's coming up next. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. He made it in. He's playing injured while everybody else, 26.2 million people today supposedly called out with Super Bowl flu.
We've got our own. We contributed to that.
Yeah,
amount,
Ken.
right?
Ken.
He got the Super Bowl flu.
Yep. Texted me this morning. Oh, guys, I didn't get any sleep yesterday. I'm tired. I don't think.
Wait,
I'm
he
coming
texted. He didn't text me.
in." He knew I'd tell you.
Huh?
It's like let everybody know.
Oh, I see how that goes.
I said, yeah, okay, whatever.
I see how that goes.
So, but you had the before Super Bowl flu.
Yeah,
I
had the pre-Super Bowl flu. Only a couple of listeners accused me of having the Tunica flu because they know I go over there from time to time. I'll take Fridays off and go over there, but that was not the case. It was just down in the back, baby, down in the back, getting old as hell, but it beats Plan B.
So,
were you unpacking and?
Oh yeah, books. It's all books, man. It just finally got to me and pop and.
Let me ask you a question. How are you going to curl with your injured back?
Oh, I'm going to curl. Well, Lindsey Vonn did it, and she's doing fine.
Except for the part where her leg broke.
I mean, no, she's doing – it's my understanding that her ACL, she popped that, and she's in the Olympics. I mean, I didn't watch this weekend, but it's my understanding she's in the Olympics.
Well, you know what? ACL or not, you shouldn't run into those things with your pole.
You know, Jackson and I might have this debate on the show today because we were talking about this before the show because he was defending her, and I was like, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should, you know, if you're 41 years old, you should kind of define for yourself whether or not this is a good idea after the ACL thing. And he goes, oh, well, that had nothing to do with it. And I understand it was separate legs, but you cannot tell me that wearing that brace and the manner in which that brace has to contain your leg doesn't affect how you ski.
Well, I think the downhill is called the ribbon of death. That's what they call it, this thing. And you have to, like Breezy Johnson did, you have to basically ski out of control. And she did the day before. She did really well.
Yeah.
She tried to ski out of control early, and she hit the thing, and then she went down. But 41, this is your last Olympics. Of course you're going to ski. You're going to go for it.
I mean, I suppose. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but
no.
I mean, 41 is ancient for a skier anyway, right? I would think she retired for like 6 years.
She was retired, and she came back because I think she wanted to prove to herself, and she won some downhills and stuff like that. And, you know.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, God love her. I hope there's no permanent damage.
I think everybody was hoping for that Carrie Strug moment, you know, where like, here she comes, busted ACL. Oh, yeah. And I'm like,
that moment, by the way, still gives me goosebumps. I still tear up.
Yeah. A lot of people.
I mean, it's just insane that she willed herself, Carrie Strug willed herself to do that last vault.
I watched.
Knowing the pain that she was going to go through.
The freestyle snowboarders.
Yeah.
The guy who won, I guess, he didn't qualify. And wasn't supposed to, and he showed up and he was just standing there like, we need another guy from our country. You didn't even qualify. He's like, no, I can't even. And they threw him in it and he won the whole thing. He was just doing tricks like out of nowhere because, you know, they needed somebody. And the guy that was the favorite got hurt.
Sounds like the chick that did the freestyle breakdance in Australia. Remember her?
Rachel Reagan. Nah.
Have you seen the movie? I think it's called Eddie the Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Great film. Yeah. Great film. Fabulous film, based on a true story.
Eddie
absolutely fabulous film. I would recommend it. So,
Eddie is great. For those of you guys who don't know, Eddie's dream was to always be in the Olympics, and he decided he was going to be a ski jumper because he couldn't do anything else.
Right.
And ski jumping, basically, they thought he was going to die.
Well, and wasn't it that there was like nobody qualified from Britain in ski jumping?
Really, yeah.
Nobody tried it, and so he was like, "Well, wait a minute. If I just have an ability to get down the jump."
I can go to the Olympics.
I can go to the Olympics, and all I want to do is go to the Olympics, and he did it.
Yeah, and I was in England, and everybody in the world got behind. He became the biggest story because it was a nerd who wore glasses. Mm-hmm. That was a hello everybody. And it was like one of those guys, and he
really had no athletic ability, right?
No, zero. He tried to do everything. He was a dork. Like he had no athletic ability whatsoever, but he wanted to be in the Olympics so bad that at first they thought he was going to die. They didn't even want to let him do it because they're like, he's going to die in front of the world. But he did it, and he kind of just flew. Everybody else is flying hundreds of meters. He's like, pew! Yeah. Yay! He just kind of went over.
Yay!
Do it, though. And he inspired the world. What are you talking about today?
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll preview the Super Bowl. That's coming up, right? The Super Bowl?
It is Super Bowl.
It's coming up because I was out of it this weekend. I'm so glad that I got the off week.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the Super Bowl coming up, see what you guys think about that. Maybe, a little postmortem on NES. We get Cameron Sexton to do that. He's not letting this thing lie. and some Save Act stuff, and maybe a little Super Bowl stuff. I watched absolutely zero of the halftime show, so there you go.
He wouldn't even have
any
mattered.
of them.
Yeah, because he was just on the ground. That's it. They
Yeah.
finally picked him up this morning and said, you got to get to work.
Yeah, and I did.
Matt, straight ahead. My curling foe on Thursday. It's going to be dangerous.
I'm injured.
Big time.
But I'm dangerous when
We're
I'm
all
injured.
injured.
I'm dangerous.
As you get older,
That's right.
you're
That's right.
all injured. Chad Benson Show.